We have a massive Alex Bregman update, as this is exactly what we needed for the Boston Red Sox, with Bregman not only revealing when he could return to the field, but also talks about a possible extension here in Boston. We'll give you Bregman's quotes all today on Red Sox Digest. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join it with us. I would appreciate also if you could hit that subscribe button. We're oh so close to 3,000. It would mean the world to me if we could get there by the end of the week. I know it's a little bit of a hard ask. We're about 70 subscribers away, but I believe in Red Sox Nation. If you could help me out, it's 100% free, and we are now providing daily content for you on the Boston Red Sox with news, information, updates, all that you can all find right here on the channel. So if you're looking for that, we're your one-stop shop. Go down there and hit that subscribe button. The latest on Alex Bregman. We talked about it in previous updates. He's obviously struggled with an injury, and the Red Sox have mentioned a potential extension, or more, I should say, Alex Bregman's agent Scott Boras mentioned a potential extension with the Boston Red Sox. Well, that was all not really from the horse's mouth, because we haven't heard from Alex Bregman until now. He, quote-unquote, broke his silence with the future of the Boston Red Sox, and his future specifically of the Boston Red Sox. Now, hopefully they get an extension done. That's what I would like. But let's kind of first give you a backstory. And I mentioned how we heard from his agent, Scott Boras, kind of saying that he was open to talks. This was on June 24th from Boston Sports Gordo via Tim Healy here. He says, Alex Bregman is open to negotiating a new contract with the Red Sox to stay in Boston long term. Again, this was all coming from his agent, Scott Boras. Basically, the gist of it was, if the Red Sox came to Alex Bregman, he was ready to listen. He's ready to be open to finding a long-term home. During this past offseason, that was his goal. He would like to find a long-term. He wanted a 6-7 year deal with a team because, listen, he's in the 30s. He wants to have a long-term solution and guaranteed money over that time. The Red Sox kind of overwhelmed him and said, we'll pay you $40 million a year, and doing so, they said, okay, I'll take that deal. And he got an opt-out after 1 year, so there's a chance that he could opt out after this contract. And so for that instance, with the Red Sox being in the position that they're in and really would like to keep Bregman around now after the Rafael Devers trade, just specifically because, I mean, you signed Bregman, which in theory that got Rafael out of here, but it's not really that big a deal. But at this point, you really would like to have Bregman around. It's kind of the overarching theme. And so we finally got a quote from Alex Bregman on this and kind of talked to him. And Chris Cotillo has a report here saying Alex Bregman is ready and willing to open extension talks at any time. He says it's a, quote, very high priority, quote, to get a deal somewhere he can call home for the rest of his career. And Alex Bregman said this, I expect to love playing here, and I have definitely loved playing here. So by all accounts, Alex Bregman would be happy to sign a long-term extension with the Boston Red Sox. Now, to provide further context with this, if you don't know this offseason when Alex Bregman signed with the Boston Red Sox, it was not really a Craig Breslow decision. What a surprise. The best move of the offseason. Okay, one of the best moves. Garrett Crochet was Craig Breslow's, and I'll give him credit for that. But Alex Bregman was somebody that Craig Breslow did not want to sign. And Alex Cora, who obviously worked with Alex Bregman in Houston, and John Henry, who, came out and paid the big bucks, basically kind of stepped their foot over Breslow and said, no, we're getting this guy, and you're going to like it. Now, in turn, that created a spiral effect with them not communicating properly with Rafael Devers, Devers not responding well at all, and quite frankly, acting like a child a little bit. And now you sit here and think, okay, Bregman was not a guy that Breslow wanted to sign long-term. So is it now somebody he wants to sign long-term, given his stats and how good they have been? I don't know. I mean, he's still 31 years old. That didn't change. And we know that Craig Breslow goes off a model. That's how he GMs. And in some ways, it's, baseball, it's analytics. But in other ways, there's a feel, there's a vibe that you have to judge. And Alex Bregman has been a perfect vibe for this team. Now, in the same instance, you could say when he comes back, what exactly do the Red Sox do? Because Marcelo Meyer has been playing great over there at third base, and you want to keep him up. You don't want to send him down. Christian Campbell has already had to go down. Obviously, Roman Anthony is starting to catch fire and looking like the prospect that we all knew he was. So what exactly is the plan? I personally think Marcelo Meyer is just going to play second base every day, which is a really easy switch there, which in turn could be the future for the Boston Red Sox to have Meyer at second, At short Story, and then at third, Bregman for the long-term future. And then at first base, I would have to think it's probably Christian Campbell at this point. I know Costas is injured, but I just don't see him as a long-term option. Even Craig Breslow kind of let it slip that he wasn't exactly the guy that the Red Sox wanted, and so that's kind of what I'm looking at there. But I've made you wait long enough. Let's go to the Alex Bregman quotes and kind of rehash what he said, saying, quote, "We're on the same page, Scott and I. Obviously, open to listening to whatever the team has to say," end quote. So just right off the bat, I'm open to listening. I'm ready to talk to the Boston Red Sox, whatever that may be. However, he did also have this to say after the fact and said, quote, "Honestly, I'm focused on getting back on the field and trying to help this team win baseball games. Getting back as soon as possible, as healthy as possible. Making a push to get into this playoff race and get into the postseason," end quote. We all know that was a big reason why Alex Bregman signed here. He believed that the Boston Red Sox were a playoff team. And so he's working as hard as possible to get back to the field. And that's where we have the injury update once again coming from Bradford. Obviously, Boston Sports go with the tweet here, but Bradford was the one who had the report. Alex Bregman says there is a chance he ends up returning before the All-Star break. After all, a very good day today. Now, this was a couple days ago, or a day ago, I should say. Cora says that Bregman feels close to 100%. Now, Bregman has been out for a long enough time that he is going to require a rehab assignment most likely. I can't tell you when that's going to start. If he feels 100%, maybe he just starts with the Red Sox and they just let him go out there. But I would have to assume, given this calf injury, or I guess it was hammy injury or thigh injury, or whatever it was, in his leg, he would probably want to not go a full 100% in like AAA and just make sure everything is good before we put him at the major league level where he's going to be trying 100%. So that leads us back to the quotes from Alex Bregman and kind of what exactly he said. And this was the last thing he had to say on the matter, saying, quote, "When I signed here in the first place, I believe this is a team that can play playoff baseball, and I still believe that. I'm focused on getting back, contributing to helping this team do that," end quote. Now, Bregman has been an offensive onslaught in the time that he has been healthy. In fact, across the AL, you can't really find a better bat for Alex Bregman. And it's quite frank to say that he has really had a career year in some ways. I mean, he has been great. His WAR has 2.9 on the season with only playing that many, like 51 games. His average is higher than it's been since 2019, which we all talked about how if Bregman can play to that 2019 season level, the Red Sox were getting a deal even with paying him $40 million. So now can he come back from the injury and play that? There's been potential talks about trading Alex Bregman, which maybe they do, because if they think he's going to opt out and if Craig Breslow has no intention of signing him or extending him, then maybe that's what they do, is they trade him for a bag to the Tigers or to somebody, because I guarantee you they're going to want him. And the Tigers, it would be very painful, but I guarantee you he goes to the Tigers, he either will opt into those two deals and have $40 million, or he'll take a deal with the Tigers to play there for 6 years over however many dollars. Like it's just he'll probably stay there for a while. The tricky part about this is if the Red Sox do trade him, the team that takes him also has to understand that there's $40 million he can opt into over the next 2 seasons. So if he comes back from injury and just isn't doing well, isn't the same Bregman we saw before the injury, he can get $40 million still. Like that's his choice. It's not the team option. It's his option. Now, I say this all to put this in perspective, that Alex Bregman has been out for a month. And despite missing all that, from Sterling Bennett of Athlon Sports, he still ranks top 5 on this team in doubles, home runs, and of course batting average, which is a little less impressive just because, batting average is a fluid stat. Like it's always constantly moving, and his was high when it stopped. It's not going to go down. It's not going to go up. It was at 299. It's been great. I have loved every second of Alex Bregman on the Boston Red Sox, and I would certainly love to have him here long term, specifically because, and this is the fan side in me, I loved Rafael Devers just because he was our homegrown talent. Did I like what he did this season? Heck no. Could he have handled that better? 100%. Was he very, very unprofessional and just not a good guy in the clubhouse? 100% not. But from a fan, it's hard to know what's happening fully. And I was shocked by the trade. I was. And now I've kind of looked at the people around the league, or rather around the Red Sox, and I love Jarren Duran, but it seems like he's going to be traded soon. So the favorite players that I have, I mean, Roman Anthony, but he's been here for a month, not even that. Alex Bregman is basically at this point like a lot of people's fan favorite player. I mean, I know he's only been here for a little bit, but people liked him when he was in Houston in some ways. I know he had the little trolling thing with Nathan Eovaldi in 2018, but Nathan Eovaldi shoved it up him, so it didn't really matter there. He's a likable player, and his wife is, she's accepted. She's going to Harvard right now. They just had their child here. Like, I believe Alex Bregman truly believes that and truly states that I want to stay here long term. It's just about if Breslow does. It's truly about if the Red Sox do. And in some ways, I understand the Red Sox have a right to wait and see when he comes back if he's still performing the same way. Then they can make that contract effort. But maybe you don't do that right now. And you know what? I don't blame him for it, because if he comes back and he's not the same Alex Bregman, maybe you don't extend him and he can opt into that $40 million a year next year, and that's fine. If he plays well next year, then you get the extension. Like, the Red Sox right now, I think, are at a standstill where I want them to talk to Alex Bregman so badly. I want an extension done, but I know that this is baseball, and the baseball side of it is he needs to come out and show that he can be the same player that he was before the injury. I can't guarantee that he will be. If he is, great. Sign the extension yesterday. But until he comes back, which, again, as we go to this little report here once again, it looks like he could be back before the All-Star break, which would be a huge, huge thing, because we could see him a little bit and then have him before the trade deadline have a good idea of what to expect from him and from this team, especially with Masataka Yoshida looking like he'll be back here soon as well. Let me know your thoughts on the situation in the comment section. Would you like an extension for Alex Bregman? Would you like to trade him? I mean, that's some people's opinion, is they want to trade Alex Bregman. There's a lot of thought put into each kind of idea in this, so get in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. But for now, we appreciate you joining us and watching it to the end of the line. If you have, you're a real one, and I appreciate you. But we'll see you next time here on Rockets Digest, or rather, Red Sox Digest. Peace out, guys.